Hello again. I am currently 8 days post-op. Just went for my checkup where they removed the wonderful drain that everybody dreads about. Um, let's see, last Tuesday I went to the hospital. Supposed to go for a 4 o'clock surgery. The night before I got called and said, your surgery's been changed till 7 in the morning. So I was kind of like, what? Running around the rest of the evening, getting things ready because I thought I had the whole day before. Went to the hospital, got there at 5:30. Doctor was late, so I probably didn't go down to surgery till about 8. Um, I was surprisingly calm. It this just has been the right thing to do for me. Um, I went in, they change you into a gown, get you in the bed, give you those wonderful little slippers, and start an IV. And then you wait, and you wait, and you wait until your doctor gets there. Then the anesthesiologist came, asked basic questions. I warned him about my tendency to get nauseated right out of anesthesia. And he said, don't worry, we'll take care of that. And he did. I remember sitting there and they, put 3 or 4 different things into my IV. And I remember my husband kind of like nudging my arm as I left, his way of saying goodbye without being, any open displays of PDA there. So, and I don't remember going down to the surgery room. So the Versed that they gave me must have really kicked in between where my little holding room and down to the surgical area. I really don't remember anything after that. I don't remember getting into the surgical bed or anything. The next thing I vaguely remember was waking up and the doctor saying, hey, it went great, couldn't have gone more perfect, and that's all I remember. I don't remember being taken up to my room or, other operations. I remember, wheeling all the way up there and to the room and the nurses introducing themselves. I remember none of that. I remember slightly waking up later and long enough to go, hey, where's that mask? Because usually you have that big mask with on your face, and I thought, well, that's weird, I don't have one, and I realized I had a nasal cannula. I had some minor discomfort at that point. Then my husband came in the room and told me something about putting my clothes in the drawer. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. It was that out of it. And then I must have dozed back off because I woke up probably about 5 o'clock. And he wasn't there. I checked my cell phone and there was a text from him that said, hey, you fell asleep about 3, didn't look like you're going to wake up, so I left. Call me if you need anything. And I didn't really need anything. I needed a pain shot at that point, but all I did was press the nurse's button. They were there. They gave me nausea and pain medicine, and I felt better instantly. And the rest of the night kind of went like that. Shot, sleep, shot, sleep, shot, sleep. Oh, and lots of people in and out checking vitals, stuff like that. I was surprised they didn't try and get me up out of bed. Every blog or video or board I've read said that they want you up and walking right away, but they didn't try and get me up that night, and it was fine by me, because all the drugs. But the next morning I was a little more alert. A barrage of nurses and everything came through. It was the first time I had the sensation of the pain up in the shoulder, which everybody talks about. They say is air underneath the diaphragm. And the medicines took care of that. Later that afternoon, they came in and unhooked my PCA, my IV, which my PCA too. And about 4 hours later, even though I was still getting medicine, I got this horrible, horrible pain underneath my rib cage. Just felt like, kind of like when you're having a gallbladder attack, except I don't have a gallbladder attack. And the nurses seemed a little bewildered by it all, and um, then this cough came on that I wasn't prepared for. Didn't have time to grab my pillow. They gave me a nice little Berry Bear pillow, and I coughed, and I felt like I turned my diaphragm inside out. And at that point, I was begging them to call the doctor and ask to put me back on the PCA pump. So they called the doctor, and they didn't agree to put me back on the PCA, but they did agree to put the medicine they were giving me previously in the IV through the port they had left in my hand. And that did the trick. The next morning, by the next morning, the pain was under control again, even though it felt like somebody had just really socked me about the rib cage like crazy. So not sure exactly what happened that night. Um, so that I just felt extremely sore compared to the day before as far as that. So that coughing episode was not a good thing. Um, so then the next morning they switched me over to liquid medicine, oral liquid medicine for pain, and started getting me up even more than the day before, walking around because they felt there was a gas factor, but what I was feeling wasn't gas. But don't argue them, just get them a walk. And there was some question as to whether they were going to send me home on Thanksgiving, not, blah blah blah. The pain the night before, and I'm sure the doctors were all off doing their holiday stuff, so I didn't see them again. And I stayed the whole Thanksgiving night, which was probably best for my husband anyway. He got to go celebrate Thanksgiving like he normally would. And the next morning I was ready to go home at that point. Felt a lot better, and came home. Had that wonderful little drain sticking out of me that I just got removed today. Yay. I feel like a new freedom. They had not have that drain there. It was irritated around the opening, and it felt very good to get it out, and it was not painful to get out. So don't freak out about that if you're looking at this and you're going, oh, I'm going to get a drain, or I have to get my drain out in a couple days. It's really nothing. I mean, you feel a sensation, and that's about it. There's no pain. And got all my steri-strips off, which were driving me nuts because I have an allergy or sensitivity to adhesives. So I feel really, really good right now. Yesterday, post-op day 7, I was baking Christmas cookies. Didn't have any desire to try one. The thing I did have to watch was when I was baking the batter, and I was doing spritz cookies, so you have to clean the bottom of the spritzer off and change the design here and there. I'm like, nope, can't lick my finger because I'm only on the full liquid diet yet here. So that's where I'm at today, feeling pretty darn good considering. Sometimes I have to remind myself I had surgery, and because you can't overdo it. And as of this morning, I was down 3 pounds. I was up 2 when I came home from the hospital, which they tell me is all the fluids, and then your body holds on to fluids after surgery, protection mode kind of thing. My diet pretty much has consisted of Gatorade, low-calorie Gatorade, protein drinks, and vitamin water type things. And strained cream soups. Pretty boring, but the funny thing is I have to remind myself I gotta eat. That's the great thing about the surgery is I now have control over hunger. It doesn't control me anymore. Like I said, I have to remind myself to eat. If I wasn't thirsty, I would have to remind myself to drink. There's just no desire there to fill up that void that was always there before. Trying to think of things that you might want to know about. Pains at a minimum. Still have occasional I feel bent up at night. I tried laying in bed last night. That didn't work. I stayed about 4 hours, and I felt like my diaphragm was going to explode, so I came down and laid in the lazy boy again, and feel great today. So that's all I can think about to tell you right now. I will update you as this journey progresses and how things go. So see you next time. Thanks.